Have you ever wished you had a tube of superglue for your brain? No, not for sticking your ear to the pillow on a Monday morning. I'm talking about a real, honest-to-goodness repair kit for the most important computer you'll ever own. Imagine your brain's wiring is like a bunch of old phone charger cables, all frayed and worn out. You jiggle them, you wrap them in tape, but eventually they just stop working. What if you could just patch them up? Well, science, in its infinite and slightly weird wisdom, is working on something that's kind of like that. It's not quite a tube of Gorilla Glue for your neurons, but it's a fascinating new molecule that has researchers buzzing. We're talking about a potential game changer for a condition called multiple sclerosis, or MS. Now hold on, don't click away. I promise we're going to break this down in a way that's more fun than watching a cat try to understand a magic trick. This isn't your typical dry science lecture. Think of me as your guide on a wild safari into the jungle of the human brain, where we're hunting for answers and maybe, just maybe, a little bit of hope. Brain bouncers, cellular mailboxes, Pipe791. It sounds like a droid from Star Wars, doesn't it? Pipe791. Fetch me my space slippers. So, what's the big idea here? Scientists at a company called Pipeline Therapeutics are testing a new drug that aims to do something incredible, help the brain repair itself. So, what exactly is multiple sclerosis? Imagine your brain spinal cord are the command center for your body. They send messages through a massive network of nerve fibers, an internal internet. Each nerve fiber is wrapped in a fatty coating called myelin. Myelin is like plastic insulation around a wire. It keeps the signal strong and directed. In MS, the immune system gets confused and attacks the myelin sheath, like your body's security team ripping apart its own wiring. When myelin is damaged, nerve signals can slow down, get scrambled, or stop altogether. MS causes a wide range of symptoms: blurry vision, tingly fingers, trouble with walking, trouble with thinking. It's like your body's Wi-Fi cutting out. 1 minute you're streaming perfectly, the next you're stuck on the buffering wheel. For many, this happens in waves. Relapsing, remitting MS. The immune system attacks, causing a relapse, then it calms down, and the body tries to repair some damage during remission. But there's progressive MS, the tougher, more stubborn version. Damage keeps getting worse over time, without clear recovery periods. Nerve damage becomes more permanent, and repair crews can't keep up. It's less surprise attacks and more a slow, steady siege. The brain's repair cells, e.g. oligodendrocytes, should make new myelin. But in progressive MS, something stops them, leaving nerves exposed and vulnerable. Alright, let's talk about the star of our show, Pipe791. To understand how this little molecule works its magic, you need to know about a troublemaker called the LPA1 receptor. Think of this receptor as a bouncer at the door of club oligodendrocyte, where the brain's myelin-making cells hang out. This bouncer, LPA1, is a pretty bad bouncer. When certain signals arrive, it gets tough and blocks the repair cells from getting in. It puts up a velvet rope and says, "Nope, no repairs today, pal." This LPA1 is a party pooper. When activated, it tells the repair crew to stand down. It contributes to scarring and inflammation, the last thing you want when fixing delicate nerve fibers. It's like a bouncer who not only stops people, but also starts a food fight inside. In progressive MS, the bouncer works overtime, constantly blocking remyelination, rebuilding the protective myelin coating. The result, nerve damage gets worse and worse, with no chance for recovery. So how do you get past this terrible bouncer? Enter Pipe791. Pipe791 is a super smooth talker, a master of disguise. It's a small molecule that can cross into the brain. So, how do you test a drug that's supposed to be a bouncer fire for the brain? You run a clinical trial, of course, but this isn't just any trial. It's a carefully designed experiment to see if Pipe791 is safe and if it's actually reaching its target in the brain. The first part of this, to the Phase 1B trial, is like a sneak preview. It involved two groups of people, a small group of healthy volunteers, another small group of people living with progressive MS. Giving the drug to healthy people first is a standard safety check, like making sure a new parachute opens before you hand it to a professional skydiver. The real magic of this trial comes from a fancy imaging technique called a PET scan, which stands for positron emission tomography. Think of it as the ultimate brain selfie. Before the scan, participants are given a tiny amount of a radioactive tracer that is designed to stick to the LPA1 receptors in the brain. When the person lies on the PET scanner, the machine can detect the energy from this tracer, creating a detailed map that shows exactly where the LPA1 receptors are and how many of them there are. It's like putting a tiny glowing sticker on every single bouncer in the brain so you can count them. Now here's the clever part. The trial participants took Pipe791 for a period of time, and then they got another PET scan. The big question was, would the second brain selfie look different from the first? If Pipe791 is doing its job, it should be occupying or blocking those LPA1 receptors. Okay, so we have a drug that can get into the brain and block a specific target. That's cool, but why is this a potential earthquake in the world of MS research? It's because for decades, people with progressive MS have been stuck in a therapeutic desert. While there have been incredible advancements for relapsing remitting MS, the pipeline for progressive forms has been frustratingly dry. Patients and their families have watched from the sidelines as new treatments emerged, none of which seem to address the slow, relentless decline that they were experiencing. It has been the single biggest unmet need in the entire field. Most MS drugs work by modulating the immune system. It's a remyelination therapy. It opens the door for larger, longer trials. Now, hold on a second. Before we wrap this up, I have a very important, very scientific request. If you enjoyed this journey into the wrinkly wonderland of the human brain and want to stay on the cutting edge of hope and nerdy jokes, down below this video, there are two magical buttons. Like, subscribe. Smash that like button. Smash it like it's the LPA1 receptor, and your finger is a dose of Pipe791. Seriously, subscribing is the best way to make sure you don't miss our next update on this story.